Frightened Falcon, written by Rheneas Productions. It was autumn on the Mid-Sodor Railway, and the engines were working hard. Passengers and goods traffic were plentiful, and the railway was thriving. It had been the railway's busiest summer yet, and the engines were relieved to find that the workload had returned to normal. One afternoon, Falcon had just returned from a passenger run. He had just shunted his empty coaches into a siding when the manager came up to him.
Falcon, there has been a last-minute change to the timetable. Freddy's taken ill, and you are to collect his slate trucks from the mine.
Can't Stuart or Birch let him do it? Falcon asked.
They're both busy, and you haven't got any more trains for the rest of the day. I'm sorry, Falcon, but you'll have to do it.
Falcon groaned. He had been looking forward to a rest. Yes, sir, Falcon muttered, as he set off for the slate mines. The sun was beginning to set as Falcon neared the mine. The mines were located on a cliff on the other side of a deep ravine. The only way in and out was across a large iron bridge. Falcon shuddered as he rolled across it. The bridge always made him nervous because of how high up it was. He dreaded thinking about what would happen if he were to fall off it. Stupid bridge, Falcon thought to himself. When he arrived at the mine, he was annoyed to find that the men hadn't finished loading his truck yet. I'll be here all night at this rate, he thought to himself. Night had fallen by the time Falcon was ready to leave. He coupled up to his slate trucks and prepared for the journey home. Falcon was just about to leave when suddenly he heard a loud whistle come from within the mine shaft. The whistle was unfamiliar to him. Falcon then heard puffing coming up from within the mine. The puffing got nearer and nearer until suddenly a small yellow engine emerged from the shaft. He appeared to be close in shape to Falcon, but with minor differences. Falcon didn't recognize the engine, but he was still new to the railway, and assumed he just hadn't seen the engine yet. That's strange, he thought to himself. Why would the manager send me up here if there was already an engine working? Falcon considered that the engine may have been privately owned by the mine company. This explanation made the most sense to him, so he went with it. Falcon watched the little yellow engine round the bend towards the iron bridge. Even seeing someone else cross the bridge made Falcon uneasy. He longed for the comfort of his nice, warm shed. I'll be home soon, Falcon thought to himself. Then, suddenly, it happened. As the little yellow engine neared the middle of the bridge, in a blink of an eye, its wheels leapt from the rails, and the engine tumbled over the side of the bridge. There was a loud splash as the engine landed into the swamps below. Out of sight. Falcon and his crew stared in shock. They couldn't believe what they had just seen. Falcon refused to move. He and his crew didn't want to share the same fate as the engine, so they spent the rest of the night at the mines. Falcon didn't manage to sleep for many hours. He was terrified by what he had just witnessed. Falcon awoke the next morning to find Duke and the manager waiting for him.
Why on earth didn't you come home last night? The manager demanded. You caused quite the delay. You better have a good explanation for this, Falcon,
Duke said sharply. Falcon was stunned. How did you two get here? Isn't the track broken at the bridge? Falcon asked.
What? No, the track's not broken. Why on earth would you think that?
Replied Duke. Falcon and his crew told them about what had happened the night before. When they had finished, Duke looked down at the ground.
This engine,
he asked.
Did he have a large lamp above his smoke box?
Yes, replied Falcon. It was very bright. Duke's face went pale. After a long pause, Duke spoke again.
I believe you saw my friend Proteus last night.
Who's Proteus? Falcon asked.
Proteus,
Duke began,
was an engine who worked on this railway before you came here. He was a little yellow engine who typically collected slate from the mines. He was a hard worker and he was a great friend. He spent a good amount of time in the mine shafts, and thus he was fitted with a large lamp bright enough to light up the whole shaft.
Duke sighed.
Then one night, he never returned home from the quarry. He just went missing one night. No one knew what happened to him. People searched for weeks, but to no avail. The only clue found was a warped piece of track in the middle of the bridge, which led many people to speculate what had happened. At the time, we didn't have the means to look for him down there, but after what you saw last night...
Duke trailed off. Both engines agreed it was best to say nothing more on the subject, and they both stayed respectfully silent on the journey home.